Hey, and welcome to Inside Out Strong's Strong Together workshop, where we're going to talk about our healthiest year yet. I hope to take you on a little journey to do some self-exploration and kind of seeing where you need to hone in and focus on your life to achieve your healthiest year. So I'm Sarah Shaw. I'm the creator and developer of Inside Out Strong for teen girls, but now we're also serving and helping moms, the moms and women who lead those teen girls. So I am a mother of 4 children myself. I am a personal trainer, a health coach, functional medicine health coach. And again, I am a former athlete who just loves teen girls and seeing them be strong in heart, mind, and body. I have 2 girls and 2 boys of my own, and I have a teen girl currently. So I'm really passionate about seeing them rise up and become as strong as they were created to be and to know how to go out and make an impact on this world. So thank you for joining us today for this workshop. We are going to hopefully have you download, or maybe you already did, the Wheel of Life that I had sent out in our emails. Let me drop it in here first. I think I'm able to do that, or I was able to add that as feature. Oh, here it is. Wheel of Life. So I'm going to put this in the chat if you'd like to download that and print it off quickly. But we're going to kind of start into what our workshop is about. If you don't have time to download this and print it, no problem. You can actually just draw a circle and you can go through this exercise just on scrap paper. So grab some scrap paper if you don't have your Wheel of Life ready, and we will get started. All right, I'm going to screen share and show you a couple things as we go through this. Bear with me. But if you have any questions as we go through, please feel free to put them in the chat over here. I'm actually going to ask you a question real quick, so if you don't mind answering. Do you typically set New Year's resolutions or goals at the beginning of the year? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that. And sometimes we set them and they don't follow through. The typical length of a New Year's resolution is about 21 days. That's kind of why they say a habit is established after 21 days. I don't know if that's necessarily truth, but it's close. I think 9% of people actually keep their New Year's resolutions for the whole year. So you're not alone if they don't carry on through the whole year, but we want to come up with a process that's a little deeper than just a New Year's resolution. So we're going to talk about your healthiest year, what's going to make an impact on your life and where to focus, and then set some tangible, realistic goals with intention behind them. So you can see my presentation here, I'm pretty sure. Give me a thumbs up or a yes. But I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen of myself. So you won't see me as much anymore. But hopefully you see together healthiest year yet. I established Inside Out Strong, like I said, to serve athletes that I was working with, but also just teen girls, seeing them become stronger in heart and mind, not just body. I was doing personal training and strength training for athletes, which I love, and I was coaching at the same time. And I just felt there was a gap between what we were teaching girls with being strong physically, but then we were never tending to their heart and mind. So I wanted to come up with a program that allowed others to lead girls through having a strong heart, mind, and body at the same time. So I established this in 2015, and it's grown just as a passion in my heart and grown to different ways where we're serving hundreds of and thousands of teens and moms alike. So our vision and mission with Inside Out Strong is we envision a world where young women lead with authenticity and serve in love. We want girls to show up and be authentic and real, and then serve others with a true love, an authentic love, in making their lives better, those around them and themselves. You also saw, if you saw me, I typically show up. Authenticity is one of my strengths and something I want to see others have as well, but I show up unfiltered as much as possible. You saw I had a sweaty bun on my head, not much makeup or any at all, and still in my workout clothes from the day to show up on this webinar for you. So hopefully you're not offended, but maybe inspired that I truly want to be authentic for you and be the real Sarah Shaw in leading you in this. So we provide adventures to guide young women as they unleash their potential by discovering their true identity and realizing their unique strength inside and out. So every girl has a gift, they have a purpose, they have an identity, and we hope to help them explore that and uncover it so that they can share it with the world and make an impact on those around them. We hope to build confident young women who win at life. That's kind of our main tagline right now, is we want confidence to come out of these teen girls. And when you're confident and have self-worth, you typically win at life as a whole. We want to make them healthy in body and strong in spirit. This is a scripture that I've used to promote there isn't a gap between having a strong body and not a strong spirit. You need to have both. Healthy in body and strong in spirit is giving you a whole fulfilled life. So if we can focus on both rather than just one or the other, I think you're going to be winning at life. So where would you like to focus this year to be your healthiest self? Is it, I'm going to ask a little poll, body, heart, mind, or all of them? Where would you like to focus this year? And we're going to go through a little exercise that's going to help you see clearly into your life where you might need to focus. But maybe you can answer this question of where you'd like to focus in your body, heart, or mind this year, or all of them. All right, all of them is typically the answer because we want to be, I don't believe in balance. I believe in a fulfilled life and a purposeful, filling life. So this is why our wheel, which I'm showing you now, our wheel of life, I think is so telling. We're going to go through each category. There are 10 of them. We're going to start at the top where it says overall health and well-being. And we're going to grade ourselves on our current state of life, our current overall health and well-being, not just body, heart, and mind, all of it. And we want you to grade 1 to 10. Okay, so if you don't have this wheel of life in front of you, draw a circle, and the inside is a 0, and you're going to work your way out to the outside with a 10. So overall health and well-being, are you a 1, not satisfied at all, or are you extremely satisfied with where your health and well-being is as a whole? I want you to grade yourself. 5 being average, so-so, could be better. Not as bad as I thought, but let's see where you are honestly on that poll. All right, so again, going back to what it should look like, you're gonna either start it in the 1 and grade yourself all the way up to the top, where top is a 10, extremely satisfied. All right, now we're gonna work into the body section. We have 3 body things that I want you to grade yourself on. Physical health and strength. Grading yourself on 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your physical strength and health overall? These are only answers that you need to see, so be pretty honest. This is where we practice our authenticity. All right, the second one. So you're gonna kind of move your way around that circle to the right. So it's like a clock. So now we're pretty much at the 2. Positive body image and confidence. Where do you fall on this linear line? Is it a 1, not satisfied at all, or extremely satisfied? Are you very confident in your body image? Something you don't struggle with. I don't think it's something that goes away with age. I think we have a lot of mature women who have beautiful bodies that have negative body image and lack confidence. It's more of a mindset, and I'd like to see you be honest with where you feel like your body, positive body images, and your confidence in that. And our third one for the body is nutritional awareness and choices. How well do you make healthy nutritional choices for yourself? And what's your awareness of that? Maybe you need to just learn a little more about nutrition. Maybe you know a lot, but you're having trouble implementing some of these things. So what is on your grading scale? Where do you feel like you fall for your nutritional awareness and the current choices you're making? All right, now we're gonna move into heart. So we just kind of went over 3 general areas of our body, moving into the heart area. And all of these categories actually follow the Inside Out Strong curriculum. So we give a course and an adventure where we tend to the body, the heart, and the mind, and we give you exercises, work-ins and workouts, we call them, that work into these areas. So this is giving you a peek into what we like to cover and teach in our adventures. So for heart, I think a lot of that is your relationship health. And so are you having supportive and healthy relationships surrounding you? Where do you fall on that? Maybe you're extremely satisfied with the relationships you have, the friendships, the marriages. the different healthy, supportive friendships that surround you? Do you have a circle of influence that is lifting you up and helping you through things, or is it holding you back and causing you to not become as healthy and as strong as you should be? And not just physically, but in heart and mind. Now, that was this last one, supportive and healthy relationships, was kind of more at the 5. Now we're hitting the 6 on the clock. So if you're looking at a clock on our wheel of life, we're going to move into the 6 area. So you should have half of your clock completed with these dots. Identifying and knowing your strengths. How well do you know yourself? Are you able to identify your strengths and live your life through them? We like to say, like, know who you are, but do you actually take time to know what your strengths are and know who you are as a person so that you can actually serve others better? How satisfied are you with your knowing your strengths and your identity? All right, now to the 3rd one for heart, personal core values and confidence in your beliefs. Have you taken time to really identify what's most important to you, which is your core values, things that you believe in, and how well can you stick to those beliefs, regardless of who's surrounding you or whatever atmosphere you enter? Are you able to stay true to your beliefs and follow in your core values and your truths? Do you do that well, or is that something you should work on? All right, our last category is mind. So again, we're completing this wheel of life. We're over to if we started at the top of the 12 and went around like a clock, we're hitting the 9, or actually the 8 area. Managing stress and anxiety. So how well do you manage your stress or anxiety in your life? Do you have a lot of it? Does it affect your health negatively? How does it impact your mindset? Do you have practices in place that allow you to manage stress and anxiety? You can't get rid of stress, and you can't get rid of the fears in your life, but you can manage them well, and so that it doesn't affect you negatively. So how well do you do that currently, or is that something you'd like to work on this year? Our number 2 for the mind area is dreams and goal setting. Do you take time to dream? Do you take time to think about your future and how you want to impact this world? Do you have intentional goals that you set to get there? Or do you not have a really good practice with goal setting? And that's actually something we're going to work on today at the rest of our workshop. This was step 1 of we're kind of assessing your life as a whole. And then we're going to find dreams and goals that you want according to our Wheel of Life results and start setting some intentional goals. How well do you do that right now? And then our last one for mind is positive mindset and self-worth. Do you know who you are with self-worth? So this one ties to identity a little bit, but are you pretty positive with your mindset? And if you're not, which is very typical, I know personally I can fall into really negative mindsets, but then I'm trying to be mindful of changing that and pivoting into a positive mindset. So I really have to work at this one. This is something that I started to work on a couple years ago, and I'm still tending to my mindset. So my goal for this year was not necessarily physical goals, but it was more, I wanted more mental clarity. I wanted more structure in my mind and in my life. So I'm actually doing more research and reading on a minimalist lifestyle. So that's kind of my goals for this year is for me to have as healthy a life as possible. I wanted to start to really study and learn and start to apply practices on getting rid of things, getting rid of the extra stuff in my life, things and relationships that are not serving me well, and just finding more mental clarity. So again, this isn't just a physical focused program or goal setting workshop. This is as a whole, where does your life need to go for you to have the healthiest life? So this is a quick example of what a completed Wheel of Life looks like. Now it's not fully full, I guess. It doesn't come out and expand into a full wheel. So in this example, there are places in this person's life that they might want to focus on. And it looks like it's probably more in the mind area. So they are kind of in the 5 and 6 range for their mind area. And that might be something that you want to start putting goals towards to have the healthiest life possible. There's some over in the body part. So maybe they want to focus a little more on nutrition. Wherever you want to go with this workshop, this is your opportunity now to find what you want to focus on as we go forward. But you can see that to push, the goal is to get this wheel to go all the way out and to be somewhat balanced. I say balanced in quotes because I don't always believe that balance is the answer, but I believe in fulfillment and in feeling purposeful with all areas of your life equally in some ways. So this is a quick example of how we connected all the dots to make it our wheel of life. So I want you to select an area to focus on. Where do you want to go with this? Your body, your heart, or your mind? And what did your wheel tell you? Now I want you to dream about your future. So let's say that example, the mind, that person wanted to focus on their mind. So let's dream about what it looks like 6 months from now. Having a clear mindset, positive mindset, where that wheel of life expands all the way out to the tens. What does your day look like? What does your life look like to have that area fully expanded and fulfilled? Envision yourself accomplishing these desires. I think an envisioning process is a really strong skill to practice, and we don't do it that often. So just taking time each day to just close your eyes, give yourself some time to breathe, and I want you to quickly envision what your life looks like in 6 months with these dreams accomplished. All right, now, I did not give you as much time as you probably deserve on that, but I wanted to kind of move you on with giving you some, okay, so these are physical transformations. Now, the only reason I throw these in is because you can actually see transformation. Sometimes with the heart and the mind, it's hard to capture in pictures the transformations that people have. So then we don't focus on that one as much. We're very aesthetic and visual culture. So to see a transformation physically, we're like, wow, they hit their goals on these things, or they really put in the effort. While heart and mind is just as important, we just don't always have these transformation pictures to prove that we've improved in our life and put forth the effort on that. So this is more of just a encouragement that if you have a physical goal, these people put in place these goals and dreams and envisioning process and had intentional steps to get to their goal. So the last picture on the far right is me before and after. So that was me running a race after my 4th child, and I was not in as great a shape as I'd like to be. I didn't feel great. And one of my goals was to put into place becoming healthier. And then to do that, I set a goal of running a half marathon. I had never run more than a mile in my life. I was a volleyball player. We don't run long distances. And I did volleyball for a specific reason, because we didn't have to run long distances. So I was not excited to run a full half marathon, which was 13 miles. But I knew it was a stretch goal for me. And so I said, you know what? In 6 months, I'm going to run a half marathon. And I hope to transition and transform my life. Now, the picture on the right is me from a few years ago, but that actually, the transformation time for me to go from the picture on the left, where I was struggling to run and finish just a 5K, to the other picture where I feel like I had freedom in my movements and I was able to be strong and run as long as I wanted, took me a couple years. That was not a 6-month transformation. That was a few years of commitment and just staying consistent on some of the things that were important to me. So don't be deceived that things happen quickly like this. These transformations of these other women I was able to coach and help through, they did these probably in I'd say 6 to 8 to 10 months, these transformations. So it just depends on what your goals are, and it depends on your lifestyle and how quickly you can come to them, but it's about commitment. And it's about prioritizing yourself and then enjoying the journey along the way, which is what we're going to learn. So here is the process to your goals that we implement and put in place for our Inside Out Strong students, and what I helped these other women with. So they had their goal, and then we set 3 priorities. We call them our rocks, our pebbles, and our sand to get to our goal. Then we had a start date and a finish date that we were going to put on paper and stay committed to. They also had accountability, which is a big deal. So if you don't have accountability in your life, I encourage you to get it and find it, meaning a teammate, a coworker, a friend, a mother, a daughter, a sister, somebody to hold you accountable to in this process. While I was training for my half marathon, I invited a friend to come along with me to do this race. She had never ran one before herself, so it was new for both of us, but we were accountable to each other the entire process. And that was probably number one as to why I got that done. So my rock, so we're going to move over. Oh, let me go back over here. We're going to set our goal first, and then we'll talk about the priorities that we want to set and what they mean. But for me, with that half marathon, my goal was to complete the race. That was a big goal for me. It wasn't about the race. It was about me gaining my health back, ultimately. So my major goal was I wanted to feel great about myself. I wanted to physically feel stronger, and I wanted to complete that race. So my quick introduction to SMART goals. Sometimes I love the idea of a SMART goal and how specific they are, but I also feel like you can set it, but then never get to it unless you have some intentional steps, which we'll get to. So to quickly go over what a SMART goal is, if you have not heard them before, is you want to make it specific. So for me with my half marathon, it was specific that I ran that race. And I actually had a race in mind that I signed up for on the computer that night. So I was specific with what I was going to do. I was making it measurable where I could track my progress. And that was more of weekly, what plan was I going to follow to get from running 0 miles to finally running 13 miles. So I had a plan in place, which I found online. It was called Hal Higdon's running plan. And I was able to track my progress weekly to get to that goal. I made it attainable and doable for me to achieve. It was a stretch, I have to say. I went from running 5Ks hardly to then wanting to do a 13-mile race, but I knew it was achievable for me. I knew I could do it, even though it was a stretch, which is important for goal setting. Make it attainable, yet a little bit of a stretch. Was it relevant? Excuse me, was it worth my while? Which for me, it was. For me, it was about gaining my health back. And that was very relevant for me as a mother of 4 new kids. I had a 4-month-old when I decided to start running. So I had a 4-month-old all the way to an 8-year-old, 4 kids. And I was like, you know what? I need to get my life back with my health, and I need to be able to model this to them. It's so important that they see what it takes to be a healthy human being, and they see that in their mother. So that was really my why, as to why I wanted to run that half marathon. So it was very relevant to me. It was worth my while. And then I put a date on it. That race had a date. I had to show up on that date. So those are the keys to making a really SMART goal. And this is your time to write that down on a piece of paper right now. I want you to write down your SMART goal according to what your wheel of life might be telling you in what direction to go and where to fill that wheel up so that your life is fulfilled. And write down a SMART goal. Now I'm going to keep flying through this, but feel free to go back and do some of these exercises. Now I want you to set those 3 steps. Find 3 priorities and let's make them order of importance. This is how you're going to achieve them. So we call that your rock. So to find your goal, you see this is kind of like a cylinder, a cup, or a bucket. That's your goal. We want to fill this bucket up with our intentions, with our priorities. So our priorities are the rocks. You got to fill those first. If you don't put the rocks in first and you fill it with sand and then pebbles, you won't have enough space to make those rocks fit. So the rocks are the things that are the most important in this process. So let's do those rocks first. What would a rock be in your goal, in your SMART goal? For me, with the half marathon, my rock was telling my family what I was doing, which was a little bit of accountability, and then also finding that accountability partner. I found somebody who was willing to run that race with me. That was my priority 1. Then I went to the next priority, which is our pebbles, the next size down in order of importance. For me, it was having that plan in place. What plan was I going to follow to get this done? And I wrote out my weekly schedule for running. What mileage was I going to run at what time of day, and which day was it going to be? And then my last priority was with the sand was to buy some equipment, which in running was fairly easy. I just had to buy some good running shoes. So I did those 3 things fairly quickly. You can do that all in a night, however long it takes. But finding 3 priorities to throw into your SMART goal to get it done, your intentional steps. And then you just kind of repeat that process again. Once you get through those priorities, let's do some more. Let's set some more steps to get there. And then a very important piece of your SMART goal is to set a start date and a finish date. What date are you going to start these steps to get to this end goal? And what is that date for that finishing? I think having that on paper keeps you accountable and helps you moving in that direction. And lastly, if you don't find joy in your journey, it's not going to be worth it. So the process of getting to your goals is actually the prize. So don't forget that the things you learn, the ways that you fail. So I like to say a lot, I'm going to fail forward. So maybe it seems like a failure or something I didn't achieve. I made progress towards something else that's important to me. So that process in getting to the goal is the most important thing. And finding joy in your journey is actually the award. So I want you to write down a few things as to what could you learn about yourself and what small victories could you have in the process to your goal. Those are actually the things that are going to be most rewarding. As you do, I'm going to quickly switch a couple things here. So you might see the presentation change. How are we doing over here? Any chat going on? Are we doing okay with our goal setting? Having fun with that? Feel free to take this process and apply it to any other areas of your life. All right, let's move on. Okay, so again, you're going to need to take some time to reflect and maybe go through the wheel of life at a slower pace and set those goals and those intentional steps at a different time, or maybe even for a different goal. But now that you've been exposed to that process, I want to talk through how we use this with our students and teens in our Inside Out Strong school. So we're now offering adventures through our online school. We decided after a couple of years of serving teens that they're busy. We know that they're busy kids, and the moms are busier than that, trying to take them to different places. So to have a live connection place in person was getting harder and harder. So we decided to have something virtual, a virtual online school or an e-course. Kids are pretty good with technology. They're very tech savvy. They've got it in their hands constantly with their phones. So why not give them an opportunity to learn on the go and to have an online school? So we, again, back to our tagline, we build confident young women who win at life. So with that being our goal is to feel confidence and to win at life. We know it's not about being skinny. We know it's not about being a student with straight A's. We know it's not about being most popular. We know it's about knowing who you are and being strong and healthy and confident from the inside out. So we've created a process that we feel helps these girls get to a place where they're confident. And moms, we're servicing moms too. So this is something that as I've gone through this program with a couple teens, a lot of teens, I find that when I invite moms into some of our activities, they recognize, gosh, I need this. This is something that would have been so helpful for me back in the day when I was growing and developing. And so they're struggling sometimes to lead their girls well because they're not tending to themselves and they're not figuring out ways that they can be strong inside and out. So we feel like if that's something that you need more support in, we wanted to offer something for the women who are leading these girls, the moms or coaches or teachers who actually lead girls to be successful. So we're going to service moms as well. We're going to engage you first. We're going to engage you in our curriculum and most importantly in our community. We want to create a community of strong women who lift you up as you succeed. So that's a big piece that I think a lot of women are searching for, is a strong community who have the same, not same beliefs, but have the same needs and desires to see themselves and those around them become stronger. We also want to inspire you by giving you mentors. So mentoring is a really big piece of this puzzle. I think having somebody to mentor you and encourage you can take you a lot further. It's almost like a little piece of accountability. But we have former Olympic and college athletes. Olympic captains are actually on our team with trying to inspire others to become their best. So we have a former Olympic captain who I'll introduce you to later, who is wanting to pour into the lives of teen girls and see them become strong and confident. So we have mentor stories and testimonials and videos of guidance of these girls or women, their stories of how they've overcome, the stories of how they've become more confident. And they also show and share in their struggles. It's not all easy and perfect for them either. And the things that they overcame to get where they are. So we want to inspire you through their stories. We also want to enrich and strengthen you through our curriculum. So we're going to enrich your life with some of the work-ins and the workouts and the mentors and our curriculum. And then evolve you into the strongest version of yourself. We want you to be strong inside, heart and mind, and out with the body. So we give you some workouts that help you evolve into that. And once you finish our program and our adventure, it doesn't mean you've arrived. It just means that you've come to a place where you know a little more about what you need and how to tend to yourself to become the most influential person that you can. So joining our adventures looks like a few of these things. So I wanted to show you what our adventures are. We are now offering a strong girl, teen girl adventure. We have an athletes adventure, which is a little more of the athletes speaking into the lives of the girls, and a women's adventure where we tend to and serve the mothers and the women who are leading these teen girls. So if you find that this is a great program for your teen, but you'd like to know more about what she's learning and maybe facilitate and foster discussion, important discussion about her body and about her body image and her identity, it's really good to go through this program yourself and to learn a little more about it as you kind of walk through the lessons together. It brings a lot of bonding and connection to you and your daughter. And not only will it bond and connect you in your relationship, but then you will feel confident and strong physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So with our adventures, we have an 80-page workbook that we've created. It's actually downloadable on our course. Once you have access to the course, we break it into little bite-sized pieces, which is our 10 lessons. But you have access to this 80-page colored and black and white, whichever one you'd like to print or download, available to you as it takes you through this adventure. And we need to do it bite-sized because that's the best way to go through this. Lifetime access to our online courses. Once you enroll and purchase, you'll have forever lifetime access to any of the videos, the workouts, the mentor stories, the curriculum, the workbook, forever lifetime access. And we also are offering now the mentor stories and testimonials. So it's not often you get access to Olympic captains and medalists and people who have achieved some pretty impressive things in their life. Not that we haven't, we have too. Our paths are different. But sometimes it's fun to hear about the stories and how they've overcome these Olympians who have gone to the furthest place in their careers, and to see their setbacks and to see how they overcame them and to hear their motivation. So we asked Krista Harmato-Dietzen, who is our Olympic mentor for Inside Out Strong. She's a two-time Olympic silver and bronze, still Olympic medal winner and team captain for the U.S. volleyball indoor women's team. And she was thrilled to offer insight and advice and talk with us about the questions that we have. So we asked her a lot of things about her identity and how her role in life and her positions on the team did not define her, but she had to struggle through that and figure that out. It's not what she does that defines her, it's who she is. And that was something that she discovered through this process and shares with us. We also have some current college athletes, which is fun to hear from them. We go UNC versus Duke. That's a big rivalry where I live. I live in this area. And these athletes, while competitors against each other on the court, they're very good friends off the court and have different stories and kind of feed into us and share with us their story on their journey to discover themselves and to become strong and healthy inside and out. So we hear how they tend to their body. We hear how they envision and view their body. We hear a little bit about social media, what they think about it, their identity and who they are and their beliefs. We ask them a lot of questions that line up with what we're learning inside of our adventure. And they share insight as to their struggles and the things that they've overcome. And while I could probably be their mother, I'm not double their age, as I interviewed them, I was brought to tears a few times because I was just so encouraged and inspired by what they had to say, that I said, it doesn't matter your age, you can learn from everybody. And so hearing their lessons learned and their inspirations and their heart, like truly hearing their heart, was really inspiring to me. So you don't want to miss out on these testimonials and mentor stories. We even have the girl on the right, her name's Kinsey Smith. They're both blonde, but the one that's from Duke is Kinsey Smith, and she has been super excited about becoming an official Inside Out Strong mentor. So she is going to take the teen girls through a lot of these lessons with weekly calls. So she'll jump on a virtual weekly call. The girls who are in the program jump on as well and can ask her any questions, and she's going to lead them through a lot of these work-in lessons to kind of be the mentor to them, asking them how things are going and what they're struggling with and what they need support on, and any advice that she can offer as an athlete and a teen girl and her relationships that she's going through. She can offer some advice to these girls in this program. In our 10-week adventure, we start on a certain date altogether, which is January 13th, and we have 10 work-ins and 10 workouts. So we give you work-ins, meaning we do lots of workouts for our body, but why don't we have workouts or work-ins for our heart and mind? And that's what we bring you with our curriculum. We have 10 lessons that we talk about, which are very closely related to our wheel of life. So if you liked thinking through all of those categories for heart, mind, body, we offer that in our curriculum. We actually have 3 chapters. Can you guess them? Heart, mind, and body. And we break them down where we have work-ins for each lesson and workouts for to go along with those. All of these workouts are mostly body weight and HIIT style workouts, meaning high intensity interval training. So you don't have to have a gym membership. You can do this in your own home. You can do this all body weight. Sometimes we may use some equipment, but they're mostly body weight workouts. And they should be done in 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how much time you have. But we also offer some flow as well, which is like a yoga type animal flow. It's very freeing and interesting to see how your body can move through space. And we have a phenomenal instructor that's giving us 2 flow workouts where you can learn mobility and your body through space in a different way than just a traditional HIIT workout. We have weekly mentoring calls. So in this 10-week process, we don't want to just have you start and leave you hanging. So we have weekly calls where we connect as a community, and we offer 4 large group calls where the mothers and the daughters, or the women and the girls, jump on together, and then we do a breakout session. Because I do feel like teen girls will open up much differently in front of a group of girls than they will if their mother is on the call or another woman that is older. So we have breakout sessions for them to foster discussion and to facilitate just open questioning and how life is going. And then, like I said, we offer extra weekly small group calls, which is led by our college mentor, Kinsey Smith from Duke, where she'll do her weekly mentoring calls for the teen girls. We have a community of strong women within a closed Facebook group. So while I wish it was these Rwandan women that I picture here, I had a chance to go to Rwanda for a missions trip, and I absolutely fell in love with that culture and the women there. So they were super strong, as you can see, just coming over to lift me up. And it was the most supported I had felt physically. Obviously, I was lifted up, but these women offered so much love and support in such a short amount of time of getting to know each other that I was like, you know what? We need community like that here in the States. And I wanted to create a community of strong women who raise you up and lift you up as you journey and as you go through life. And we all rise together when we succeed. So this is a great picture of physically showing somebody being supported and lifted up by a group of women. We offer interactive online course. So our course and adventure online is interactive with comments below each lesson. So you can interact in that online course, but we're also going to mostly have this closed Facebook group where we can do live interviews. We can do live tutorials. We'll have encouragement daily on there, and we'll have some lead Inside Out Strong coaches to come in and encourage you and give you support. We're giving you a lot of things in this adventure. So we also offer a live workshop on March 23rd in the Raleigh-Durham area. And we have, when you buy the course, you'll actually get 2 tickets for free to get into this course. Typically, it's a mother-daughter workshop or a strong together workshop where you bring in a sister, a daughter, whoever you want to come in with you for $50. It's our workshop that we do a work in and work out. We're going to give you 2 tickets to that. At the end of our 10 weeks, we're going to have a celebration party for all of those women who went through this course and girls who went through the course as a day to celebrate you for committing yourself and going through this program. And we want to recognize you for that strong adventure. So let's quickly take a tour. If you have a little bit of time with me, I'm going to screen share my screen. So make sure you're going to be able to see my screen. I'd love feedback if you don't see it, but all right. Quickly let me know. Do you see my screen? Okay, great. So right now you see one of our courses, our Athletes Adventure. I'm going to quickly toggle back over to our main website page. So if you go to insideoutstronggirls.com, you'll see our webpage right here. You can learn a little bit more about us if you'd like to know more. Who we serve teens, athletes, and women. But then I also want you, sorry, I'm scrolling quickly. I want you to head over to our school at some point, and I'm going to drop a link into our chat box where you can get to it. But at our school, our Inside Out Strong school, we have our featured courses, our Athletes Adventure, our Strong Teen Adventure, and our Strong Woman Adventure. So you can learn more about what we do here, who we service, and what we're trying to get accomplished. But then within each course, you'll see another page where you can learn about who's promoting. This is Krista Harmato-Dietzen, who loves our program and wants to see more girl athletes go through it. She sees the importance of inside training, not just outside training, as an Olympic athlete. And then we also have our women's adventure that's over on this end. So you'll find these courses and can learn more about them. But once you get inside, once you purchase and get inside, I want to show you some of our curriculum. We go through a lot of things to get you started before lesson 1. So we have a whole warm-up week. We teach you the basics of movement and exercise. We don't want anyone to get injured. Some of the advice on what parents should know on how to lead a strong girl according to former athletes. Our Wheel of Life that you just did is actually in there, and we have different surveys. But we introduce you to our athletes that we have. We have a couple more coming in who are going to give us some more testimonials and advice. And then you have access to our full workbook. So I want to show you just a quick lesson of what it looks like. So when you click a lesson over here on this side, it'll take you to that lesson. We typically have things that are downloadable inside here. So while it's loading, you can go through our entire 80-page workbook, which you can see here, all of our workouts and our work-ins. Oh, this is all workout right here currently. Let me get back up here. So our color one's fun to look at. It's beautiful, gorgeous. I'm a little partial, but while it's loading, it takes a while to go through. But you can go through all of the lessons at once if you want, but I truly believe in taking this a week at a time. And that's why we do this as a group. So you can see our one of our work-ins you can complete where you read the lesson, you do the workout, or you do the work-in that we give you for that day or that week, and you can do the workout, which typically we have a video to accompany it. Okay, we give you the workout, which is right here that you can download, and we also give you a video to follow. Now, if you already have a current workout training, a training routine, I don't want to mess you up. I want you to keep doing that. This is just a way to add in some extra things and learn a little more. but then to also partner these with a work in. So as you can see, we go through all 10, actually 9 lessons plus our warm-up week. And we give you a lot of bonus videos and tips. Nutrition tips is something that we will throw into the teen girl and athlete curriculum as a general thing, but we're going to add a little more guidance for the moms, the women who lead those girls. I never like to give teen girls specific nutritional advice because I don't know if they're quite mature enough to handle it on their own. So that's why I like to have the moms guiding them in that, learning what's important with nutrition. They're the cooks of the family typically, and they do the grocery shopping, but then to include your girl in learning those as you go. Because sometimes girls either obsess about food or they neglect food, either not eating it or not even paying attention to what they're eating. So I like the moms to learn it and then give it to their daughters as they apply and teach them and lead them rather than just expecting them to do it on their own. So as you can see, this is what our course looks like once you get access. It's a ton of information, a ton of great testimonials, and the community that we'll be building with each other will be in there. You can view, if you click onto one of our workshops or our courses to see what it's about, you can actually view the lessons we have in here as samples. Now I can click start because I have access to this, but you'll be able to preview one of these work-ins and workouts just to see what it's like. But you can see our entire curriculum within the sales page without buying those, just to kind of gain access onto what we cover, what we go over. Now let me stop my share. Oops. Stop. Any questions on any of this? I'm going to go back to my quick presentation and finish. So the cost of all this, you might be wondering, how do I sign up? Well, our Inside Out Strong Adventures are typically cost is $149 to $200. That's been our typical charge for this. But being that this is more of an online pilot launch, we wanted to scratch that price. All of these things on the left you get access to. We wanted to bring it in today for $97 with that pilot pricing. So when we launch on January 13th with our program, we hope you'll be along with us. We're going to close our cart on the 12th. So getting this price by January 12th is going to be important because we'll never offer it this cheap again. And if you purchase a program, we at the end will give you a code for half off of your second course. So if you'd like to take this journey on your own, but then know your teen daughter could benefit, we encourage you to jump on it then and do it together for half off that price. So together, combined, you'll get 2 for the price of 1 of our typical. So this couple testimonials from girls that have gone through our program, who are athletes that I've led, they've said, this program allows me to better understand myself and my body. I also felt more empowered and connected to myself and my feelings. You will learn a lot about yourself and absolutely feel more confident. So to have a teen girl express that she feels empowered and more confident about herself, this program's doing its work. Another athlete, Alexa, says, this plan really helps you become centered, which is so important for teens, and much more aware of all aspects of your life. It has taught me techniques on how to be calm in stressful situations and how to always know how to take care of yourself. That's what we want, girls to take care of themselves. And Emily's favorite lessons were identity, thoughts, and image. Lessons were very impactful. Getting rid of negative thoughts and energy by replacing them with positive things and thoughts. Leading not to shame my body and to look at the positive things about it. Also finding out who I am and what I want to do in this world. So those are some pretty confident girls who are winning at life when they aren't shaming their body and they know they can make an impact in this world. So if you want to have a supportive team to cultivate confidence in your teen girl, join our adventure. Okay, and if you want to foster positive discussion so that she or you begin to see your self-worth, you should probably join our adventure. So if you need a community of positive and strong women surrounding you and your girl, this adventure is where it's at. So again, $97 until we close the cart on January 12th. And you'll get a buy one, get one half off coupon with the end of your purchase. So that's how you can be strong together, mother and daughter, to go through this. So are there any questions while we're going? You can type in the chat box any questions you have here. I also wanted to ask you guys quickly, what would serve you best through Inside Out Strong? Would it be the strong community, the encouraging content, or the inspirational mentors that we have in place? What would serve you the best? I'd love to hear your answers. And I'm also going to share with you our link to get to these courses. So if you loved what you heard and you really want to join in, I encourage you to click our link and sign up for our Inside Out Strong experiences and our adventures. It is truly an adventure for 10 weeks, and we're excited to start this and lead you through it to become strong inside and out and build and cultivate confidence inside while you win at life, and guiding your teen girl to do the same. So here's our website. If you click here, it'll take you directly to it. If you click in the chat area. And we want to thank you for joining us. I truly appreciate your time. I know it's really hard to set aside time these days anymore, but I think it's really imperative that we really focus on raising up and supporting and building our teen girls to be strong, not just physically, but in leadership and in heart and mind. And it starts with us. So if we can help you on that journey, we're here for you. So thank you for joining us. And we always say at the end of all of our lessons that you are worthy, you are loved, and you are enough. Remember that and stay strong. Okay? We are here to support you. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm going to quickly put my email in here. If you want to reach out to me for anything, you can do that, or just go to our website and you can reach me directly from there. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.